guys, this is Miss Siciliano. This is day 3 of our Eric Carl project. This is what our finished project will be looking like. I'm just going to leave that there. This is what we made on our first week we made this. This was our horizon line with the land and the sky and the snowflakes. Last week when we were together, we made painted papers and we made our 2 birch trees. So now everything has dried and we're ready to go ahead and cut everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my birch tree right on the line. Be very careful cutting. Just stay right on your line. Just going to put my garbage to the side. Take your time here, no need to rush. So I'm cutting the trees first. That's what you should be doing right now, is cutting out your trees. Okay, got one. I'm just going to put this here for now. I'm going to move it around and see where I like it in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut my other tree out. Try to cut it right on the line. And I'm going to put my garbage again to the side. And I'm just going ahead and cutting all my little shapes. Do you notice how I move around the paper to cut around some of the difficult areas? That might also help you. You can try that out. Alright, got my second tree. Alright, and I'm actually going to go ahead and chop this off too. There we go. So now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start to make my squirrel body parts. Okay, I'm not actually going to draw on this side, because this side will be really hard to see my pencil lines. As you can see, I can't even see them. So, I think it's more fun if it's a surprise anyway. So, we're going to go ahead onto the other side. You can flip that over, it should be dry. And these are the squirrel body parts that we need. How you put them together is up to you. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need is our tail. So I'm going to go ahead and make my tail. Now this whole chart is going to be on the board as well. So the tail looks something like that. Okay, now we have our body. Body's kind of egg-shaped. There we go. And we have our head. If you think about how big you want these things to be, head looks kind of like a cat head. Okay, I have an arm. I'm just going to kind of put some little claws at the end, just like that. I have one more arm. Okay, and now I need my 2 legs. 1 and 2. So you're going to need all these parts. They don't have to look exactly like mine, but they should be kind of similar. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out each of these. This was one method of how our artist du jour, Eric Carl, would work. He would make painted papers, and then he would cut out different shapes from his painted papers and then assemble them in all different ways. So that is a way that he worked. I'm just going to go and put this to the side so it's not in my way anymore. Now I'm cutting out the body. There we go, we got our body. Now I'm just going to kind of trim this away so it's not in the way. That's all garbage. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my head now. Claws can be a little tricky, but if you see how I'm moving my paper around to help me, that might help you too. Like that. There's a lot of cutting in this project. So we're going to have a lot of fun in just a minute when we decide on how we're going to put our squirrel together. Doesn't have to look just like mine. Mine is walking, yours might be doing something else. You guys should have plenty of time to assemble it and get to decide how yours will come out. There's one leg. And here is the last leg. All right, that's all garbage over there. So now I'm going to start thinking about arrangements. I haven't glued anything down yet, so everything can be changed. Okay, and I'm going to just start to arrange it and see how I might want this to look. All right, so I have my body here. I've got my tail over here. All right, I've got one arm. I've got another arm. Got the head. You know what? Maybe I'm going to actually change the direction of this one. I'm looking and I'm noticing that maybe the direction could be different on this one. There we go. I think this is going to work better. There's one leg. There's the other leg. Oh, that's a hand. There's the other leg. We have an arm. And we have a head. And you know what? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? All right. So now I can decide where I want him, what I want him doing. Do I want his legs kind of moving like this? You get to decide all of these things. Also, your trees could be trimmed down. They don't have to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm actually going to trim this one and have it start right over there. Just like that. That's cool. All right, so I'm ready to go ahead and glue all this down. The first thing I'm going to glue down is my tree. It's the bottom layer. Okay, it's underneath everything. So I'm just going to carefully pull it out. I'm going to just put a little tiny bit of glue. When we use our glue, we only use a dot, not a lot. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I'm always gluing my bottom layers first. So I know that this is at the bottom. I'm going to glue this one down. Don't need a lot of glue once again. As I'm looking here, I also see that this is part of my bottom layer. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So the squirrel might be climbing this tree here. All right, now I know I need to glue down the body. This arm was on him so you could see it. Okay. And, ooh, you know what? Actually, I had it like that. There we go. You can always change things around if you don't like the placement. This glue takes a few minutes to dry, so you can play with where you want things. Once you're pretty sure, like I said, you can go ahead and glue things down. I'm going to actually glue this tree down before I glue down the rest of my squirrel. Just like this. Okay, so now we have his squirrel tail. Big bushy squirrel tail. It's very cute, don't you think? Okay, and last one. I think I'll have him kind of walking up to the tree to go climb it. Is that funny? I think so. All right, so that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is just put my hands down on it to pat it down. I like to hold it for 10 seconds. I call this the 10-second rule. So 10 seconds for holding things down after you glue them so that they can dry nicely. And I call this palming. That's where you put your whole palm down. That's to ensure that no sections bubble up. I think we're good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put some eyeballs on. Again, just a dot, not a lot. There's one. There's two. Okay. Now, on this one I had used an oil pastel to go and draw the whiskers and things like that. Right now I'm using a pencil. I'm actually going to have oil pastels available though for you guys. So you can draw like a little face on him. That's kind of cute, don't you think? Alright, the very last step, and I think everyone's favorite step, is adding glitter. So you can put your glitter dots. It's the same thing, just a dot, not a lot. It's kind of like our snow. So it's to accentuate the snow. I'm just going to put dots all around. I'm going to do the glitter for you. I'm going to have a tray so that we can do it and not make too bad of a mess. You can put a couple dots also on your friend. Why not? And the glitter that we're going to be using is this white glitter. Kind of reminds me a lot of snow. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle this down. Again, I'm going to do this part for you just to ensure that we don't make too big of a mess with it. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and shake, shake, shake my glitter off. Shake, 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 shake. And I'm all done. I have my Eric Carle squirrel in the snow. Thank you for tuning in.